What's good, Bears fans? With the uncertainty of Aaron Rodgers, we meet up with the Steelers this weekend in a matchup of first place teams at Soldier Field at 1 o'clock. Can the Bears come out victorious? We're going to talk about the game. We may make some predictions, and we're definitely going to touch on the injuries and a little bit more next on the Chicago Sports Podcast.
Let's go. Yo. Get up, nah I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Bears fans, what's good? And welcome to the Chicago Sports Podcast. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm feeling good, feeling great. How are you guys feeling? How did the week feel being in first place? Not tied, but first place with no doubts. Like I said, I hope everyone's good. It's Thursday, so we're one step closer to the weekend, and that means we're one step closer to a matchup at Soldier Field with the Steelers getting ready to get it on with the Bears at 1 o'clock. The Bears lead this series 22-8 with one tie. And let's make hopefully we can make it a 23. But in previewing this game, I don't want to be a downer, but the injuries are on the forefront, and that's something that we have to speak on. We cannot ignore it because we got key injuries in pivotal spots. Now the Steelers present an interesting matchup. Like I mentioned, they're a first place team as well. But they have an issue. Is it a real issue? Who knows? They have an uncertainty. They're very uncertain at the quarterback position. Me myself, I'm very certain and I'm very sure that Aaron Rodgers will not miss out on the opportunity to play in Soldier Field one more time as his career is coming to a close. Now, what does that mean for the Bears? If he doesn't play, that means we face Mason Rudolph. Now, Mr. Rudolph, he's pretty much career backup. He had opportunity to go out there and earn a spot in Tennessee. Didn't work out well, so he ended up coming back to Pittsburgh. Now, in the past, Pittsburgh has still maintained its composure regardless of who's at quarterback, and is always a perennial playoff football team. So bringing Mason Rogers into the fold and having them start on Sunday may not be too much of a drop off, or may not be the drop off that most Bears fans may think it is. Okay, but me personally, I think and I hope Aaron Rodgers plays because this will be a great opportunity for us to send the landlord home like we did Brett Favre back in the day. So this is a great opportunity. I'm gonna bring in my guy, T Fields. What's up,
Jordan,
brother?
what's good, sir? How you doing?
Coolin', man. How you feeling?
Man, can't complain. Getting ready for another week of heart-wrenching, gut-wrenching football.
Hey, full of suspense, man. If it ain't got spice, it ain't right, right?
I know, right?
Yeah. Hey, how did your week go? In first place, how you feel about it?
Man, it's I'm really happy. I'm still, I feel like a GM a little bit the way I think. I'm looking still for the future. I'm happy that we're in first place right now, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
just so excited for what the future really brings with this ball club. And hey, if you can learn a new system and still win, that's an A+ in my book. So I mean, I'm ecstatic, but I'm like, man, this future's gonna be crazy here in Chicago. I'm
Insane.
I'm feeling dynasty.
Hey man, look, we gotta be optimistic in these times, and when being in first place is a great, it's a great start, man. It's a very good start. And not to look too far in the future, let's stay in the present for a second. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? All right, now we're going up against Mike Tomlin. As I look in the chat, JC says going against Tomlin is never an easy task. He is absolutely correct. Mike Tomlin he may be the longest tenured coach outside of Andy Reid in this league. So if you kept your job in this league for this long, you've been doing a lot of things the right way.
Yeah.
And not only facing Mike Tomlin, we're going to have to go against the future Hall of Famer, Mr. TJ Watt, Cam Hayward, Jalen Ramsey. Then you have other guys like Patrick Queen and Kyle Duggar, Peyton Wilson. Like this Steeler group is stout, and they were coming and ready to play. They know how to get to the quarterback. You
Hmm.
know, their season has kind of been similar to ours without so many injuries. They found plenty of ways this season to win ugly, like we have. And so this makes for a good matchup. I think we may be looking at a similar situation like we were in last week. The Steelers are very they blitz friendly. They're gonna come
Hmm.
with the pressure. They have an elite pass rusher and possibly two with Nick Herbig. He has 6.5 sacks with White having six of his own. Alex Highsmith has 5.5 sacks. Keanu Benton also has 4.5 sacks. So these guys know how to get to the quarterback. It's gonna give us something to look forward to, and hopefully last week was a preview of what we're gonna see this week.
Yeah, Houdini. But I want to say Mike Tomlin, and correct me if I'm wrong, Pittsburgh struggles in Chicago though.
Yeah, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, the Bears have the series lead 22-8. Now the last time we played, I believe you remember, we feel like we kind of got cheated out of that game with the bad
Oh,
call at the end.
yeah, the karate kick dude and the referee bump.
Yeah. Was that Monday night football or Sunday night football?
I want to say that was Monday Night Football,
Yeah,
but
I
I'm not
believe it was
sure.
Monday night. But we fell short with the Steelers getting the victory 29-27. But things are a lot different from then.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of things changed. The Bears offensively have finally found a spark, being fourth overall, second rushing, 13th with the pass, and eighth scoring overall. So we didn't have those numbers back then.
not at all.
We didn't have that to look forward to back then. We were still in the rebuilding process. It was a lot of things we had to find to get here where we are today.
That's
Now,
true.
while the defense has its struggles, with being 27th overall, 25th versus the run, 23rd versus the pass, and 26th scoring. We seem to find our way situationally at times, and we
Hmm.
still manage to find a way to kind of be one of the leaders in turning other teams over. So go figure, right?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they played that bad last week at all. The defense, I mean, besides that, a couple of drives, I thought they
Yeah.
played pretty well.
Yeah, anytime you can hold a team in this era of the NFL, anytime you can hold a team to 17 under 20 points, I
Hmm.
think you're doing a solid job. I think last week it was more of the offense still trying to play catch up. Though the statistics are nice, we have yet to see the team put up a complete game.
Yeah,
We've had flashes, but we haven't had the complete game. And hopefully, what I'm saying, this week is another opportunity.
yeah,
No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
exactly. Now,
So
and
what are you
I'm sorry.
what are you looking
Go
for
ahead.
this weekend?
I want, and I understand he's a rookie. I love Ben Johnson. I think I'm with Tom there. He might be the best coach in Bears history. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm
Hmm.
with him. But I can still tell that he's still doing this. And I mean, some of the play calling to me was kind of questionable last week. I think, you got one of the worst running defenses and you're going against them, and you still passing. Like I felt like they passed the ball too much, and they should just just pound the ball. Maybe that's just the old school in me as far as like love you getting off the bus running. But I feel like they should run the ball more. I mean, Swift has looked pretty good. Manunga has definitely looked well. So I feel like I want to see more running this week. Some smash mouth football that will open up the passes and hopefully
Mm-hmm.
the and soften up the receivers' hands just a little bit. Those are the two
Yeah.
things I'm looking for.
Yeah, hopefully we can get that together. But this week, since you mentioned the run, this week, could be an opportunity for us to take advantage of things versus with the run versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're
Mhm,
kind of, I think they're 13th versus the run in the league. But
mhm,
I watched some games where Pittsburgh has definitely given it up versus the run.
yeah,
So, this could be another opportunity. Like you said, running the ball last week was not a terrible thing. Really, all the way up until maybe what would you say? Maybe week 6 or 7,
yeah,
where we seem to kind of get on the after the bye for sure.
yeah.
We seem to get up on that train and take off with the run. Cream sleeve, shout out to you, man. Appreciate you. Bears will win against the Steelers, even with the depleted. You say even with the depleted linebacking core. Okay. Hey, we'll see, man. I'm hopeful, man. And since you mentioned that, Cream, we just gonna go and put it out there. Let's talk about these injuries. Now, all three linebackers this week, T Fields, they all end up on the list.
Yeah.
Now, I know one of those guys not playing, and that's TJ Edwards.
Mm,
Sewell has an elbow, Edmonds has a groin. Now, if we ain't heard enough about groin injuries on this team, we ain't gonna never hear enough. Everybody has a groin, and
mm,
groin injuries are tricky, but they're also painful and irritating. So,
yeah.
let's hope within the next couple of days, Edmonds get it together and can get on out there. Now in the secondary, there's a possibility that Jaylon Johnson plays.
Mm,
Kyler Gordon has an outside shot with the calf, but the analyst in me says that we hold Johnson out another week because our week is short and has him have him ready to go versus Philly.
yeah.
But I really do think for certain that, what I'm saying, the faster we get him on the field, the better we automatically become defensively. What you think?
No, no, I agree. I think, especially with the linebackers to being depleted, I feel that you might see more dying with the corners, and we need corners. As you see. Now the only thing is that I feel like Mike Tomlin is the type of person which I would try to exploit the fact that the linebackers are missing. So maybe we need to add an extra lineman, like a fifth lineman on up there because he might try to just run. In this case, I trust Dennis Allen. And the whole thing with Jaylon Johnson is like even if he's limited playing, I get him out there, just get his feet back wet again. If I plan on limited series, that's fine with me. Have them ready more so Friday, Black Friday when they got to play against AJ Brown and all his targets. And
Hmm.
so, I want him healthy. I don't want him to have to re-injure anything. He looked good in the video, but everybody looks good in the shorts. And then
Yeah,
you get out there on the field. So, I just hope that he get a, that he could get out there as soon as possible. But wasn't he a full participant today?
yeah, it was.
Okay, so yeah, if you can do that, if you're a full participant, you need to be out there at that field. Limited, I get it.
Yeah. And it's a possibility he can get out there on the pitch count like you were kind of leading to.
Mm,
Um, I think that's respectable if he can get out there on the pitch count and just to get him prepared for game action, ramp him up a little bit with some live rounds. I think that's respectable. Um, So hey man, we'll find out more tomorrow because tomorrow's when we officially know what's what.
Yeah.
Now on the offensive end, both tackles and the center has issues.
Mm.
And we can't forget about Tyrique Stevenson, who left the game early last week. He has a hip and a calf, so
And
ooh.
Brisker. Mm. And Brisker
Yeah,
hasn't
well
even played.
Brisker was back today.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah, Brisker was back today. Um, but the injuries to the tackle spots, man, that's a thing for me offensively because, like I mentioned, we have Herbig and White with Cam Hayward, Alex Highsmith, guys that know how to get to the quarterback on the edges, man.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big old thing. We got Wright with a back in his pec. Now Benedict was listed as limited, but he
Mm.
practiced full all week, which means that he probably hurt himself doing practice today,
Yeah.
which is, it doesn't really spell well for the weekend. He has a quad. So maybe we'll see our rookie play again, Audrey Trapillo on that left side this time.
Yeah,
I don't want
I
I don't
feel again, yeah, he's better off now than he was probably week one, week two.
for sure.
Just watching the game, seeing the game, practices, knowing get the better feel of the offense, getting, I feel like he might be better off. But as a whole, I mean, I think the team is better off, and they continuing to grow. So,
Hmm.
and one thing about football is always going to be the next man up because
Yeah.
injuries is part of football. And that was one thing I used to never, I couldn't get as a youngster because I'm like, man, this great player is on the free agency. Why nobody signing him? He's rated like an 85 in Madden, and because the best ability is availability. So it's always going
Yeah.
to be the next man up mentality. And the Bears took Brian Burns. The whole team. The Giants got pass rushers. I'm going back a couple of weeks, but the
Hmm.
Giants got some serious pass rushers, and for them not to get a sack, it kind of relieved me because I think Burns is second in the league with sacks
He
with
was
13. Only
first.
yeah, he's only behind Miles Garrett now. So
Hmm.
it's like, you know, and I know how you feel about edge rushes and whatnot. I kind of felt like a relief, like okay, maybe I mean not only the line is better, but Houdini back there has been doing his thing as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen some video, man. That the Steelers are practicing. They're using they're using the guy on the practice squad to emulate Caleb getting out of these sacks or escaping the pocket, which I found very interesting. But that's what coaching is, man. You got to respect it, right?
Exactly. Now the thing that I thought it was a horrible, he was being a horrible version of Caleb, but one thing I did notice is they were going for the ball more so than he was
Hmm.
trying to get the sack. So I think that's something that I hope if I've seen it that that the Bears seen it as well, but they were going for the ball quite a bit.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. But the interesting. I mean, the injuries on the offensive line going to be interesting. But hopefully, all these guys play.
Hmm.
And if we have to see Ozzy this weekend, we can't do nothing but get behind him, bro. That's all we can do.
Exactly. Exactly.
Rip in the chat asks, do we think that we'll get any takeaways versus Rodgers? Oh, you don't know how sweet that would be if that's the case. I think there's always a possibility if he's gonna put the ball in the air enough. I mean, numbers don't they can be altered, but numbers definitely don't lie. We're one of the leaders in turning teams over. And the more chances we get, the more opportunities we gonna have. Like we all know what and who Aaron Rodgers is. Always been savvy in the pocket. He's not gonna give it up too much, but we have to take advantage of the possibilities when he does. Like he's not the same guy. He's not as fleet as foot as he used to be.
Hmm.
Um, the game is a little bit fast for him nowadays. Now, can he find a fountain of youth this weekend and do something miraculous versus us like he always seems to do? Of course he can, but we're hoping against that.
I think I
And
might have said this before I had joined, but this is giving me that Brett Favre Minnesota Viking Julius Peppers vibe to it.
Oh
game.
man, that'll be
Yeah.
so sweet, bro. That'll be so sweet. Now I ain't with nobody getting hurt, but
No, 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 no.
if we can send him away in the cold with that poncho over his head, that'll be sweet right there.
Yeah, and as crazy as this may sound, I don't feel like any of the Bears defensive players even know. I mean, they know that there's a rivalry between Green Bay and and the Bears, but I feel like they're almost so, being that Aaron Rodgers has been gone now for Green Bay for a couple of years now, that it's almost like, man, you just Aaron Rodgers now. Like, dude, you're not spooking us. We're not scared, or expecting something crazy to happen at the end of the game, or you fumble the ball and nobody goes for it, and then your teammate scoops it up. Oh,
Yeah.
I gotta be some Aaron Rodgers nightmare.
Hey man, so do I. But with Aaron Rodgers played the last couple of years, some people may forget, how truly great he was, especially against us.
Yeah,
He's had a couple years of struggle, fooling around with the Jets. He's kind of found his footing a little bit with the Steelers, but it's still not the same.
yeah,
And I think a bigger foe than 2025 Aaron Rodgers is this Steelers blitz happy defense.
hmm
Those guys, like I mentioned before, they get after the quarterback like nobody's business again with the way they blitz and the way they do it as far as getting to the quarterback that could open up a lot of rushing lanes. But I think they're going to come into the game because we're ranked so high running the football. I think they're going to come into this situation trying to stop the run. I think it'll be only right. It'll only be great coaching. If a team is top 5 or top 3 in the league at a particular category, you have to respect that. So I think,
yeah,
they're going to try to dominate us on the early downs and get us in those third and longs where those guys on the edge can really wreak havoc, bro.
exactly. And
So
and I think that too with the offense, it's like you said, we're getting good numbers, but there's still
mhm.
something like the cohesiveness of the whole thing is not there yet. And I know it's been a couple of drop passes, and like you said, I think it's been some of the play calling as well. But I think once we become a fine tuned oil machine on offense, then I feel like those numbers will really matter because of one thing we get in that red zone, and then all of a sudden we just the car dies. Like we drive all the way down there, and then we have some type of car issues and penalties. I mean, one thing I can say I'm happy that we've definitely cut the penalties down quite a bit from the start of the season. But I want to, but like you said, with those pass rush, we cannot get into third long situations. And if we got to do a halfback screen, not a wide receiver screen, I'm down with it. I'm down with it. Because if I see that side screen to the wide receiver, TJ Watt picks it off, I'm gonna
Yeah.
scream.
Oh man, like we're gonna have to find other ways to be deceptive and kind of manipulate that pass rush, man. Because like a screen to T.J. Watt's side is scary because he has excellent ball skills,
hmm
whether he's getting to the quarterback or not. He has very good ball skills, and Caleb's not the tallest guy, so it's gonna
Yeah.
be easy for guys to try to bat the ball up in the air, bat it down. So we're gonna have to be a little smart on that end, but let's talk about the Steelers offense for a second. Now we
hmm
mentioned Aaron Rodgers. He is who he is. Now we can chat about Mason Rudolph, but I don't think Rudolph plays on
No,
Sunday.
not at all.
Um, you have the running backs, Gainwell and Warren. Two
hmm
guys, very deceptive, kind of jitterbugs, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Short, quick guys that run very hard and they're dual threats that can beat you with the pass or they can beat you on the ground. DK Metcalf, we all know about him. We
hmm
all know about him. But the lesser known guys is not talked about very much. And this guy is very interesting to me, and that's Calvin Austin Jr. Little guy, whole lot of speed, and always finds holes in the zone. He always finds ways to get open.
Yeah.
And when he catches the ball, he believes in his shot of yak because he gets a lot of it.
Exactly.
Um, Also rookie Roman Wilson. Now he early on he was getting a little buzz where Aaron was finding him here and there, but it's kind of died down lately because he had some trouble with ball security. I want to get to the most interesting guys though, and that's these tight ends. The
I
Steelers
was about to
have
say
three,
that.
they have three tight ends, bro,
Hmm.
where they have a playmaker, they have a guy that's balanced, and they have this big guy who could either, depending on the day, he can either be a third or second tight end or a second left or right tackle. And that's Mr. Darnell Washington out of the
Yeah.
University of Georgia. He's 6'7",
Hmm.
311 pounds. Can catch, agile, but he's a man eater when it comes down to blocking for those running backs and giving Aaron Rodgers, that extra protection in the backfield.
Yeah, that's and if I think if you look at the numbers, like DK Metcalf concerns me, but he's not. To me, his numbers are not as high as that I would have expected him to be, being a number one wide receiver. Really, with I'm not going to say another star on this, without a star on the other side of him.
Hmm.
So you know, like I expected him to have just these astronomical numbers, but he doesn't. But them tight ends, like I think they have like a total of like 60 catches already. Like he goes to those tight ends a lot.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, even Darnell Washington, I think he has a touchdown. He's averaging 11 yards, 11, 12 yards, like per reception. That's going to
yeah,
concern me, especially when our linebackers out, because
yeah.
those are automatic mismatches right there. Because
Yes,
if you
indeed.
try to put a tackle on them, I mean, she's not a tackle, a corner, maybe a safety, but I mean, even still, like it's the size is it's just it's too big of a difference. So that's like my biggest concern. I'm glad you brought that up. Them tight ends, that really does scare me.
Yeah, I mean, because you have listen, John Smith. Everywhere he's been, he's found ways to have some type of production. He scores
Yeah.
a lot of touchdowns for a journeyman tight end.
Hmm.
And then you have Pat Fairmouth. Now, regardless of who's quarterbacking, if healthy, Fairmouth finds ways to be productive. He catches the balls in these holes in the zone. He gets hot in the red zone, and he's found. They end up finding him in the red zone. Those two guys are going to be dangerous, like you said, with the deficiencies we may have at linebacker this weekend. It's going to
Hmm.
be tough, bro. It's going to be tough.
Yeah,
Now,
I'm almost certain we calling somebody up for the practice squad. I'm almost certain that we
well,
have to.
we have some guys that we made a move this week, bringing the young man in from Detroit, which is
Yeah,
he's looked at as a special teams ace,
yeah,
but he may have to get him a couple of snaps this weekend.
exactly.
So we'll see. But one guy on this Pittsburgh team that does not get a lot of fanfare, but boy, oh boy, he scores points like you wouldn't believe, and that's Mr. Chris Boswell.
Mhm.
The field goal kicker in Pittsburgh, Chris Boswell, is a point getter, bro. He
Yeah,
gonna get three. He gonna get one. He gonna get He's kicking from 55 plus. He can get. He got a foot on him now. Chicago weather's different. Chicago wind is different. But he's kicking in Pittsburgh, and it gets just as nasty up there as it does in the city. So, he's a threat. We're going to have to do a good job of keeping these guys out of field goal range because anything, you know, 55 and in, I think Boswell going to be ready. He's going to be good to go.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So.
He's my kicker in fantasy football. So I definitely have been following him this season, and I mean, like you said, it's like an automatic three, he's an automatic one. Um, my thing is, and I've always been my thing for getting Aaron Rodgers. In this case, it might just be because of our defense issue is
Hmm.
keep the ball out of his hands, run
Yeah.
the football. You get 3.234 yards per carry. I'm fine. As long as you keep running the ball, you'll get a first down.
Yeah, time of possession is going to be key, man. Because
Exactly.
and like you said, it's mainly because where our position is defensively.
Exactly.
Now again, we found ways, in certain situations to get stops, to get turnovers and things of that nature.
Hmm.
But going up against a savvy guy like Rodgers, man, a well coached team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a little tougher.
Yeah. No question. And he likes to do the little hard count and draw people off sides, get their free play. And it's just we have to play smart football more than
Hmm.
anything. We have to play extremely smart football because again, who we playing? Aaron Rodgers, Mike Tomlin, a really solid veteran team overall. Period. And so yeah, we you got to definitely play smart football because that's exactly what they do. That to me is why they're successful. Is at the end of the day they play smart. They know that they have limitations in certain areas and they try to hide or bash them. I mean, I thought what's their running back name? The rookie. He's not playing much though. But what's his name? Caleb.
Johnson.
Yeah, I actually thought he would have took over. He's from Iowa, right? I want to say.
Yeah,
I actually thought he was going to be, they started running back this year. But again, they find a way. They find a way, and then they got the guy from the Eagles. Always been a fan of Kenneth Gainwell.
yeah,
So it's just like they play smart. They find ways to win when players that they're supposed to be successful are not.
for sure, for sure. Hey, if you guys are just tuning in, I want to welcome you guys in here. Welcome to the Chicago Sports Podcast. I am the host D Nice, and with my man T Fields Vision,
Yes,
and
sir.
we rocking and we talk about the Bears. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Millen Smasher. Millen Smasher say he's been saying prove it. The Bears are 5-1 in one score games, and the Bears know how to keep it cardiac. You're 100% correct. They always have us on the edge of our seat. And listen, suspense ain't bad unless you come down to the unless you come to the wrong end of it. You feel me? So hey, and he also says the run game Novocaine on on the lakefront. That's a good one. Host a postseason game on the lakefront. Watch Ben Johnson put up a rushing masterclass. I do agree with that, and he can put up a Russian masterclass. But another thing about Ben Johnson that we've all seen, I hope none of us have ignored, is that he has a flair of getting away from the rush
Yeah.
and becoming very pass dependent. Now we can't say it's all bad because it has to be worked on. There's gonna be times where the quarterback has to make a play. In a perfect world, we'll be able to run the ball to where the quarterback will only have to pass 10 to 12 times in the game, but that's not very realistic. So, the quarterback's gonna have to make plays. We struggled. Well, we've been inconsistent in that area. When it's good, it's great, and when it's bad, it's bad. So, that is an area that we have to work on, but we're gonna have to be a little bit more strategic. I think Ben Johnson is a better coach now than he was in the first week of the season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's more understanding of what we are as a team, and I think he's leaning toward the play to the strengths of the ball club. Now he may get away, and that P word potential, he may look real deep in what we can potentially be and try. And I think that's why he gets into those past happy modes because he sees the potential in the ball club with the weapons we have, with the type
Yeah.
of quarterback we have. And it's easy to get lost in that.
Hmm.
But he got to stay in the game. We got to do what works. But,
Yeah, I thought about you this weekend watching the game, and
mhm,
when he threw Tyson Bagent out there a couple of times, but you just watch him with
uh,
a decoy.
yeah,
That's my thing. But when you threw him out there, all of a sudden they're like, okay, we got to account for him now too.
yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, it throws me off because I'm thinking number 17 is a receiver. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's Bagent. What's he doing? So it keeps you alert. And like I said,
Yeah.
I don't think he's done a trick play in a couple of weeks. So
Nah, I mean,
I think he's just for like Okay, we can expect anytime, any place it can come out. I don't think it'll come out more so home than on the road.
Yeah. And like you said, it gives it like teams have to when they scout us, they have to respect that aspect of Ben Johnson and his coaching style
Hmm.
because you can easily get caught slipping if you take it for granted.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm gonna ask you this, and I ain't putting you on the spot. You can say you can choose not to answer right now,
Hmm.
or you can just give your honest assessment. Being 7-3 in first place
Hmm.
and understanding the conditions that the other teams are in our division, because there's some trouble in paradise in Detroit. They're doing a pretty good job of masking it a little bit.
Hmm.
Do you think this is a playoff team?
Yes, but like I said, I'm good, and that's the reason. The reason being is that I look around the whole NFL landscape, and I don't see a dominant team like, oh God, I'm scared of them. I do
Yeah.
not want to play them. It's a bunch of teams that are like the Bears to be like, I don't want to necessarily play them in the playoffs because they might upset me. And I think it's a bunch of teams like that. I look at Pittsburgh's schedule. They barely beat the Jets. They lost to Seattle, who's a pretty good team. They lost to Cincinnati. They lost to Green Bay, and they lost to the
Hmm.
Chargers. They haven't really truly. They lost to teams that are meh.
Yeah.
In all honesty. So again, I mean, they came back and beat Cincinnati the second time, but still, who did they beat? They beat Cleveland. They beat Minnesota. They beat
Hmm.
now they did beat New England, but they barely did, and
Yeah.
and they beat the Colts. But I mean, again, the Colts are not a team like their record is great, but they
Hmm.
don't scare me like, oh my God, we got to play Danny Dimes. No, it's a lot of parity right now in the league. So yeah, the Bears definitely can make what they just need to win 3 out of 8 games.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah,
And
they definitely can win. They can do that.
and and shout out to you for answering it. I couldn't really answer it. I just said, we'll know when we know.
Yeah, I mean, and again, that's true. And like I said,
Yeah.
in all honesty, I would not even be disappointed if they didn't. I mean, well, I'd be disappointed a little bit, but I wouldn't. It's like because again, I took like I said earlier, the
Mhm.
future for this team to me is so bright. They're young in the right places. They got
Yeah.
they spent money in the right places, believe it or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And some of them contracts some of the bad contracts about to end. And I'm just like, with a young coach, the only thing I feel like is going to happen with this Bears team is they're going to start losing coaches.
True indeed. True indeed. I'm gonna give a shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat. But got this thing buzzing. Shout out to Dante. Shout out to James. Melon Smasher for sure. Shout out to Rome. I see you in there, bro. Shout out to Trap. Doug G, shout out to you. Shout out to everybody that's rocking with us tonight. Anybody new, shout out to Rip as well. Shout out to Tracks. Anybody new, if you're new to this, please like and subscribe. If you like the content, even if you don't like it, still like and subscribe. There's gonna be something in here you like. I'm more than certain of that.
Yeah,
So appreciate you guys rocking with us tonight, and like and subscribe. It don't take nothing but to push of a button. And keep the comments coming, keep the chat buzzing. We in here until we gone.
you know
But
what? I don't want to jump too ahead to skip this game, but I want to kind of just prove what I was just saying. Like Philadelphia, I think is the number one seed in the North, right?
yeah.
But if you compare their numbers to the Bears players individually,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even DeAndre Swift has better numbers than Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
Rome Odunze is right up there with Devontae Smith.
This is
Montez Sweat
true.
has more sacks than their leader. Tremaine Edmunds has more tackles than theirs. And Caleb Williams has more yards than Jalen Hurts. So, and they have continuity over that I think they have over the Bears. And
Yeah.
this one again makes me extremely happy about the Bears team because they're not there yet. And when they get there, which I still think is going to be this year, when they get there, oh Lord, watch out.
Yeah. And like I said, and you mentioned this as well. A lot of these teams got issues, bro.
Yeah.
Major ones at that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, guys like Detroit and Philadelphia, teams like those, they're doing a good job of masking their issues because they're winning games.
Exactly.
Now, those guys, they face each other last Sunday night, and you seen how that went down. But even
Mm-hmm.
with that, Philly won ugly. There's a lot of games with them they won ugly as well. And I'm using the term winning ugly because that's what they use for us. Whenever we win a game, it's always ugly, and we don't play anybody and all this other jazz. But listen, man, you complain about who we playing, you have to take that up with the scheduling committee of the NFL. You know, because our road to the playoffs is determined by what we do with the guys on the schedule.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of other teams don't play these teams that we're playing. It ain't our fault, and we're not going to apologize, for beating the guys that the league has set up for us to play on a week to week basis.
And I want to recall, I believe everybody that we beat, no, maybe not everybody, but at the beginning of the season, because when we get well, let's go back to like April or May when the schedule comes out. Ooh, this will be
Mm-hmm.
a tough game. This is a tough game. Well, it always changes because of injuries and all, and free agency and all that stuff. Some of the teams that we thought were going to be good are not, are no longer
Mm-hmm.
good. So I mean, things change. Like you said, you just play their games. And Philadelphia has been in some gut-wrenching, low-scoring, ugly wins, like you said. Detroit 16-9, Green Bay 10-7, beat Dallas 24-20, but then lost to New York, lost to the Giants 34-17. So it's beat Kansas City 20-17. You play who you play, and I mean, is Kansas City a bad team? You know they 5-5.
Hey, bro, listen, I'm not gonna do too much wrestling about who we played and who we beat. I'm just not doing it. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it because it's unnecessary because no one else gets this treatment.
Mm.
Like Buffalo lost to Miami and Atlanta, bro. Okay?
Yeah.
Detroit lost to Minnesota.
Hmm.
Green Bay lost to Cleveland. So listen, it happens.
Yeah.
Regardless of who's on the schedule, is any given Sunday.
Yep.
Now we haven't put it up the most sexiest display.
Nah.
We all can admit that. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, 7 out of the 10 games we got 7 of them. That's right. That's right. That's right.
And, hey, what was the year that the Carolina went to the Super Bowl where they were undefeated? Well, they lost only one game. They lost
Yeah,
to the Falcons, who didn't even make the playoffs. I mean, it happens every year.
it
The Bears
happens, bro.
5-12 beat the Packers last year at the end of the last game of the
Yeah,
season. They didn't want to lose that game, but it happens. You play who you play. That's it.
that's
And
it.
a win is a win. And like you
Yeah,
said, I ain't apologizing for a W.
man, no, man,
And
no.
but what I do like is that these were the same games we've always lost. We
Yeah,
find ways to lose. Down is like, oh, we down by three or two with 10 seconds left. Hold my beer. We got this.
yeah.
And we find a way to win. And now and
Cause
then that Jump Sports Bulls are doing it too.
yeah, for sure. But we could just like you said, we can easily be 3-7, bro.
Yeah, easily.
You know, or we could be still stuck at 5. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I see Millen Smasher says this: Caleb versus the Vikings it has his 10th start without a TD. Struggles to hit 60% rate. He struggles to find completions in the offense. Look, we can do all of that and play with the 60% number. He's more dangerous with his legs than his arm. I disagree. I think the reason why he has to use his legs is because of his arm. But we all entitled, and I hear you. But is the guy making the plays when we really truly need him?
Yeah.
Now, of course, we would love for him to do this thing from first quarter to the fourth quarter. We would love him for him to do that. But when it's time to make plays at the end of these games, is he making them or not?
Yeah. And I wish Coach never would have said that 70% thing because
Yeah.
with the quote unquote GOAT Tom Brady trait, the fact is that he never threw 70%. That he not only did he hit 65 or 60, he maybe he did. I'm not sure. But would he trade his Super Bowl rings to hit 70%, which he's never did in his whole career? No. It's Al Davis just win, baby. Hey, that's all I want. His percentage would technically be higher if we didn't have so many drops too. But
Yeah,
that's part of football. And as long
absolutely.
as
Part of the game. I'm
long,
glad you said that.
yeah, so
Um,
as long as you make your strides and getting better, and if you don't see growth from now, dude is 24 years old. He's not 29. He's not a 6, 7 year veteran. He's a second year player with his third or fourth offensive coordinator in 2 years. And if you see some of these playbooks in the NFL, they're serious. They're serious. So you start learning different offenses in a short period of time. I just want to see growth, and the arrow to me is pointing up or north or wherever it's pointing. It's not pointing down like guaranteed rate stadium or rate stadium.
yeah, yeah, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to Bridges Scoreboard located on 121 North Griffin Boulevard. Bridges Scoreboard has a coldest brew in the land with 31 HD TVs for your sports viewing pleasure and fine dining as well. If you're ever in Northwest Indiana, give the good folks at Bridges Scoreboard a try. You will not be disappointed. Shout out to Bridges Scoreboard. Like I said, located 121 Griffin Boulevard, Northwest Indiana. Next is SB Sports Trading Cards, bringing in unity through the hobby of sports trading cards and other memorabilia. We all remember a time, if we old enough, that we get these sports trading cards from the grocery store, dollar store. And when we open the pack up, the feeling we got when we seen our favorite players on those sports cards and read the back of the stat with the stats and the histories and stuff like that. And SB Sports Trading Cards is bringing that feel, restoring that feeling back. You know, and has some excellent memorabilia to give out. So yeah, shout out to SB Sports Trading Cards, restoring the feeling back of sports trading cards. Um, yeah, man. Let me get to this injury report. Let me throw the graphic up. Now, this is the injury report for week 12. As you see, as it has been for the last month, maybe more, is filled with players.
Yeah, yeah.
filled with starters at that. And we went through it earlier. Brisker should be a go. He practiced in full today. Byard, he got rest today. Grady Jarrett, I think, is another guy that rested.
Mm,
I mentioned Darnell Wright with the groin and the pec. I mean the back and the pec. Then Dalman with the knee. Stevenson with the hip and calf. And we got Swift. He's been on there the last few weeks. He actually missed a game, but he bounced back last week. Tremaine Edmunds on this injury list outside of the tackles and the center. Tremaine Edmunds is the most interesting on this injury list for me, mainly because he's been playing so well, bro.
yeah, very well. It's
You know,
Chicago.
yeah, he's been playing so well, and this has been a bounce back year for him. And I'm really happy for him. This could easily be a Pro Bowl season for him. So I hope he's ready to play on Sunday. But with these tackles being out, well,
Yeah,
not out, but being on this injury list, and like I said, we'll find out tomorrow what the real for real is.
yeah,
But just looking at it, it's not giving me a great feeling.
nah,
But let's talk
especially
about the third phase, man. Let's get into the third phase. Special teams. Now every last one of us has had something to say, not so pleasant about our special teams unit. But last week, they showed themselves to be true, and they
mm-hmm.
came through for us, finally came through for us, with the run back from Duvernay and the kicking exploits of Mr. Carl Santos. He was 4 out of 5, made the game winner, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all had our things to say about the special teams unit, but we have to give them the ultimate props for last weekend, and we're going to need those guys again this weekend because I honestly do think that the Pittsburgh Steelers can be susceptible to another situation like Dubin they had versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Mm-hmm. Looking like the other Devin.
Yeah, shout out to him.
But
Shout out to him because it's been times though throughout the game where throughout some games this year where if he just had that extra block, he could have, what I'm saying, he could have broke one. If someone
yeah,
could have sprung him, you know, he's been a block or so away from a big play. And the special team struggles can also be due to the struggles that we have with the injuries.
mm-hmm.
We're having guys spending a lot of time, playing downs on the defense instead of just focusing, making special teams their main focus. So that could be a thing as well. That's why, signing the special teams ace this week was such a great thing. And
Yeah,
he's gonna be able to get his shine on this weekend. Former Pro Bowler, former All Pro player in the special teams unit.
yeah, he's getting thrown to the fire real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, he gonna feel it. No doubt about it. He got to feel it. He got to.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Well, I want to go on the other side real quick to Pittsburgh. How do you feel about Tomlin's comment about Jalen Ramsey? I thought it was hilarious when he said,
Hey,
do what comes natural." I thought that was so real.
hey, look, one thing about Tomlin, man, ain't no word salad there, bro. It's as real as it get. It's as real as it get with
Facts.
him. And he's
Facts.
gonna tell it like it is. And I can't go against that.
For real. Spitting and slapping. That's the two of the most disrespectful things you can do to another
Yeah,
person.
man. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
we said, I have no message with someone spit in your face. Do what comes natural. And I thought
Yeah,
that was so
come on,
real.
man. Listen, bro. Like certain things ain't allowed in no arena, no field, no room, not allowed in life, period, bro. That's when you know what I'm saying, shooting out body fluids on other people, bro.
Yeah.
Pause. But you around here spitting on people, man. You tripping, bro. You tripping, and suspension. Really, a suspension ain't good enough for me.
Not especially only just one game. No,
Yeah, yeah,
no.
yeah, 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 man. You can't have that, man. That just goes that supersedes, that's totally transcends, what I'm saying, what's going on with this game that we love in football. Ain't no room for that. And, Chase is better than that too, bro. But, Ramsey handled it accordingly, man. He handled it
Mm-hmm.
accordingly in my book. He didn't get any, he may get fined a little bit, but he ain't getting suspended. So that's gonna be another dog we gonna have to see this weekend.
Yeah. What you think?
Yeah,
I
man.
mean, what do you say? Never mind. I'm not going there this weekend with the Jalen Ramsey video. Shout out to Infamous.
Oh yeah, man. Hey, man. Hey, that was a few years ago, man. We gonna
Yeah.
give my man some.
Oh, oh,
We gonna let him slide with that one.
yeah.
I think you may have caught enough hell with them back in the day.
Yeah. You know what was crazy though? So when I was shooting the Falcons game, they played Jacksonville in the preseason. He
Hmm.
played the game. Do you know this dude played with a Rolex on?
Really?
Yes. I got the picture somewhere. I sent it to you. This dude played with a Rolex on. I said,
Well,
okay,
at one point, he had the Brinks truck pull up on him in training camp.
that's true.
You know what I mean? So hey, bro, you only do most people do what their money allow.
True.
You know what I'm saying? But let's get into predictions, man. Not really my favorite part of
Oh,
the set of the show, but why not? It's fun. It's fun at the end of the day. So give me your prediction, man.
heart medicine will still be needed on this weekend as well. we go. I feel like we'll find a way to have a blowout lead, and they're gonna come back, and then somehow we win it at the end. I mean, that's just been the recipe for this team.
Yeah,
So
that's kind and really that's kind of how a lot of our matchups with Pittsburgh have been.
yeah,
Have been that way.
uh,
Um
I say
how's the
20.
weather what's the weather gonna be like? Is it gonna be precipitation or what?
I believe it's supposed to be in the 50s and actually kind of nice. It's 54 degrees that day.
Okay, so no snow, no rain, nothing like that.
Nah,
No real
sunny.
elements outside of it being cold and windy.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's not going to really be cold. So, that's Pittsburgh too, and Aaron Rodgers. They used to the cold, so it kind of didn't matter to me. Matter of fact, I would want it sunny, and
Yeah.
it might be different than what they expected. So, no, I say the score is going to be 23 to 17, and then the Bears find a way to score a touchdown at the end and make it 24-23. And what Cairo said is kicking the extra point, hitting the goalpost, but it still bounced in.
Boy, you landed on thick, boy. Hey, I don't know if we can stand all that in one game, man.
Yeah, and Chris Collinsworth coming and calls the game for no reason, double doink, but it goes in
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah, I'm kind of listen, man. I'm kind of going your way, but I'm more 23-20 with my man Cairo coming through once again. Special teams coming through once again, for the game winner and get us up out of there.
Yeah, and as much as we joke, or I joke about about all of that, one thing I can say is that at least one game, one of the three phases steps up. And
Situationally, bro, you're right.
yeah, yeah. So, we can get on the Kairos, and we can get on their defense, we can get on Caleb and the offense, but when it matters, somebody steps up.
Yeah.
And that's just, to me, is a sign of a team that's disciplined, is getting better, and you can't you help but applaud it. So I mean I want the Bear fans to recognize that, and this is not our Bears from last year and years before that. This is a whole new team, a whole
Hmm.
new mindset, and hey, I enjoy it. Sit back and
Hey,
relax.
listen.
Take your medicines and enjoy it.
Yeah. But see, when they say new, a lot of fans is expecting fireworks all over the place, and rightfully so, man. We deserve that. As Bears
Yeah,
fans, man, all of the 3 yards in a cloud of dust we had to endure over the years, bro. We deserve a team that can shoot out week to week. We deserve that. If our defense is not gonna come to play. we deserve to be able to blow a team out 38-6 or some things like that. We deserve that, man. But the only way we're gonna get what we deserve, we're gonna have to work for it. We're gonna have to get it out the mud, man. We're gonna have to
Yeah.
dig it out the snow. We're gonna have
Yeah.
to.
Yes, sir.
But all the years that we've dealt with inept offenses and lackluster play at the quarterback position, bro, this is kind of the beginning of our time, man. And it's not. I think what Bears fans don't like is that it's not happening as quickly as most would have thought.
No, but the
But
ones that built deserve it.
again, it's the kid's second year, where really he's a year and a half in.
I was like, this is rookie year, in all honesty, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, so I mean, we got to keep stacking this thing together, man. Stacking, going to do this thing brick by brick, and
Right.
eventually we're gonna get to where we want to be, and we're gonna be able to do it like every Bears fan wants us to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I just think, we just keep chopping wood. Listen, have whatever it takes to get the eight. Whatever it takes
Mhm.
to get the eight, I'm with it.
Gotcha.
And I
And
hope
hey,
the
I'm sorry.
I hope the referees, got their special glasses on or whatever it needs to take so they can really see the other team, what the other team does to us on a down to down basis.
I know Travis was like, man, dude, I don't get to play that much. You can't
Yeah.
see, you can't see a face mask right in front of me, dude.
Yeah. And he's
Yeah.
another guy that showed up on the injury report. I think
Yeah.
because his face mask got ripped like that, he ended up pulling his groin too.
Facts.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
but her, we got some special videos that needs to be shown, like
Oh,
for the group, for the millions
it's a lot
and
up here. Let me
millions.
see. We got the landlord here. Let me see what he got to say.
All right.
The opponent this week?
There's incentive for every opponent, but I have enjoyed many a Sunday and Monday and many Thursdays in that city. It's a great sports town, phenomenal sports fans, and great place to play.
Aaron, do you sort of thrive off of being the villain there a little bit? You sort of enjoy that aspect?
I'd rather not be. I mean, I'm not in Green Bay anymore. I feel like we can let bygones be bygones. Maybe I can, I guess. It's a great rivalry. I mean, in the history of all sports, you talk about the Lakers and the Celtics and the Red Sox and the Yankees. You got to talk about the Packers and the Bears. And there's been some great memories there. When I first got to Green Bay, the Bears had the all-time series lead. When I left, the Packers did. And since J Love has taken over, it's even gotten better. But I hope those fans can put that behind them. I'm sure they can't. Don't expect them to. But I really enjoy the city. They got great sports fans. I grew up watching WGN on my five-channel TV back in the day. So I was a Cubs fan and a Bulls fan. And how can you not be a Bulls fan unless you don't like Michael Jordan? I did. I loved him. So it was a lot of fun memories over the years playing there.
Now, you gotta love Aaron, bro. You gotta love him. If you watch the interview, and the guys touched on this yesterday, but since we watched it again today, you gotta love him, bro. Sean got the little snarky laugh, and he's trying to give compliments by throwing strays at the same time.
Exactly.
This really lets me know that this guy's gonna suit up and play.
Yeah.
Because you can't talk that talk and be smiling in front of these folks and then sit on the sideline on Sunday, bro. It's no way. And he's a bigger competitor than that.
Yeah.
So, but
That dude was condescending, boy. I was just like,
very much
stop.
so, bro. Very much so. Now, we got this the other clip I'm about to show is remember what I mentioned about the guy mimicking Caleb.
Yeah.
So there you go
Yes.
with that, man. I mean,
He
hey,
was
what
like
can you
Charlie
say?
Black.
What can you say? That's coaching though. That's coaching though, and
Yeah.
you know, and that shows a lot of respect that those guys have for one Caleb Williams. If they're willing to take time out of their practice schedule to focus on how to get this guy down and how to keep this guy closed up in their pocket, and also taking the ball away from him. So hopefully it don't work though. Hopefully it don't work.
Yeah,
But
he would do more like Charlie Batch than Caleb Williams.
yeah, he don't have the good rhythm with the feet like our boy Caleb do. But you know, shout out to them for practicing it, man. That shows what good coaching is. So I give them a lot of props for that. I give them a
Yeah.
ton of props for that.
Well, listen, the game. What's going on in the game today? There's a game, right? Yeah. Who
I
playing?
mean, have no idea, but I did see something today. Now, not saying that the Bears will be interested, but I see the Texans did release Damon Pierce today.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they released him. And, you know, could that be a guy that the Bears bring in here and give a little bit more strength to the running game? Because that guy can run the football. He can run the football. And as the weather gets worse, you know, these are the things that we need to, you know what I'm saying, make this offense that much effective. We have to be able to, like you mentioned earlier, you know, own the time of possession.
Yeah,
Like in past games, the Bears have seemed to kind of split time of possession with the opponent. But if we can just really own that time of possession, that just give us another, you know, chink in the armor to make us that much better.
exactly. I see a couple of moves happen today. I see Daryl Worley was cut from practice.
Mm,
Russell Gage was released uh, as well. Those are just a couple of things I just know.
yeah.
Who's the guy? There's this guy, the wide receiver from the Saints, who we were just talking about, Brandon Cooks.
Oh yeah, I did see that too.
Yeah, so it's a lot of moves in football. That's why these players. That's why they try to get it
Wouldn't
when they can.
wouldn't be surprised if that team up north, you know, hollers at Cooks, man, because they struggling a little bit in that wide receiver position.
Yeah, I was thinking Buffalo too because I know they placed me Cole Hartman on injured reserve, and then matter of fact, that's who's playing now, and what you call is not playing, and he's healthy. The guy, I think it was Keon Coleman.
Oh yeah, listen, Keon Coleman is he keep it up, he gonna be 1 foot out he gonna be out the door. He already got a foot out already.
Yeah, I think
He
he's
is
been
tripping,
hanging.
man.
He's hanging with former Pittsburgh Steelers, former Chicago Bear. Well, never mind. I don't want to bring up the name, brings too much pain. But we know who we talking about.
But yeah, man, he like shout out to the young guy, man. Hopefully he gets it together, man, because you know he has a lot of ability, and you know you don't want to see him go out like that. But if he's not gonna take his craft seriously, we can't take it seriously for him because he's getting paid a whole lot of money to do a job, to play a
Yeah,
kid's game, to show up on time for meetings and all of that, you know. But for him not to dress out in games and then be dancing on the sideline, man, what are you doing, bro? You
yeah.
dancing in street clothes, bro. You need to be in a helmet, you know what I'm saying, and shoulder pads, ready to go. So,
Yeah,
you know, he may
that's
got
when
some
I.
growing up to do.
Yeah, that's that saying. Your youth is wasted on the young. But
Yeah.
I
And
give me
they
his
putting a
time
lot of
every day.
smut on his name, man, and some people say rightfully so, but he's not helping this situation out at all.
No,
And if Buffalo don't, you know, finish the job, I'm not saying they have to win a Super Bowl, but they have to come out of this thing, you know, with a pretty deep playoff run. You know, that's when, you know, Sean McDermott job could be on the line because that defense has underplayed, man. And Josh Allen, he is who he is, as erratic as he is. He always seems to make plays, more
hmm
good plays than bad. So, if guys not performing well, their jobs can be on the line, and also the coaches, man. So shout out to Keon Coleman, man. A fan. I'm a huge fan because he went to the Florida State University, which is a team I cheer for a lot. well, now so there's not a lot to cheer for now, but especially when he was there and when James was there, it was really something special. But
Yeah,
yeah, I hope he gets it together, man.
yeah, agreed, agreed. I got one question that's kind of outside of the Bears, and I don't know
Hmm.
really. I was thinking, like I said, with Tom Brady never threw over 70% of his completed 70% of his passes. Peyton Manning threw like 28 interceptions in his rookie year. In this day and age, since we're such a microwave stage age, like we want an instant gratification, success, whatever, would those players survive now? With
I I think so. I mean, because though we want the big numbers and
mm,
and we just really start wanting all these great things from rookie quarterbacks ever since CJ Stroud had the year that he had. Because all the way up until then, all these other great quarterbacks either didn't play or they struggled mightily their rookie season. But when
mm,
when CJ Stroud came in and then shortly after him, Jaden Daniels came in and did what he did, it kind of, just made people want more of that from a rookie QB. And it's just something about being picked number one, regardless of
mm.
what sport, you are expected to be the be all end all in your first year. You supposed to just tear the house down your first year because
But
you were picked number one.
I just guess I just feel like players back then were given a longer leash than now. And when I
Well,
say
you
now, I say the last 10 years.
well
They
just think
just
about
be,
it. Look at the kid in Tennessee. You don't hear anybody kicking his teeth in. You
mm,
don't hear anything. You don't hear nobody saying nothing bad about him.
no,
You
not
don't
at
see.
all.
You don't hear nothing about it. But it's just I don't know. I don't like it. Some of it is warranted, but at the same time, you gotta show a little grace to these young guys, man. Like
Yeah.
going from college to the pros, playing the quarterback position is not easy, bro. It's so many things that have to go right before you even complete a pass.
And it's something I hear these dudes like, yo, kids need to run more. Well, I always point to this. Name me a running quarterback that's not hurt.
Yeah,
And unfortunately, the two quarterbacks that you use for an example are hurt. Jaden
yeah,
Daniels and CJ Stroud. And not to say
yeah.
they were runners, but I just felt like again they were new and their coaches designed the offense to cater to them at that particular time. Now that's another thing that's Caleb. Caleb has not had an offense to me that's catered to his college abilities or whatever. They do
Mhm.
everything at this dude, and it's like, all right, you gonna learn, you gonna make mistakes, but you gonna learn, you'll get better, and we just got to deal with it. And
Mhm.
we've been dealing with it, and they've been winning up as we call it. So
Yeah.
it's just I just feel like and both teams. Well, I actually was a fan of David Mills. I just couldn't understand. I actually thought they should have drafted a quarterback initially.
Mm.
And I think he came in. He's actually had some success replacing
Yeah.
C.J. Stroud. I mean, Stroud is a better quarterback. Don't get me wrong, but I'm also the type of person that said I could win with Eric Kramer. I could win with Jim Miller. I could win with the not so big name quarterbacks. You agree with that, B? I
I
mean, ever
mean, you
since Trent
may
Dilfer won, when
you
Trent
kind
Dilfer
of
won one,
you kind of make the job tougher when you go
yeah,
about it like that
yeah,
because everybody's under a scope and
mm-hmm.
everybody has a certain leash and it has a certain length to it. So if you go out here making a wrong decision of personnel, what you're gonna end up doing after they get rid of everybody else, you next. You know what I'm saying?
True. But we should
So
have run a quarterback. We should have won the Super Bowl with Rex Grossman. And I actually felt like
agreed,
if we didn't run the ball with Thomas Jones more, we would have won that game.
agreed.
Thomas Jones was slashing them up. It's just like, all right, that's it. You're 12 carries. That's all you need.
Yeah,
Cool.
they shut it down. They got away from it. For
Yeah.
whatever I think what really scared them off is that Peyton Manning kind of got on a heater and was making those big plays in the passing game, and they felt like I guess they felt like they had to match Peyton's But the only difference was we didn't have a Peyton on our side. We
Mhm.
had a Rex. Well, shout out to Rex Grossman, man. That was a fun year for me.
Yeah.
His year and a half of glory with the Bears was fun for me. Even when he was throwing all the interceptions, he made it exciting because he was actually a part of an air attack there, and that was something at that time that we hadn't seen in a very long time.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Yeah, I shout out to Rex, man. I ain't gonna say I ain't gonna I ain't got too much bad to say about Rex, man.
Correction.
He really lit a fire for the Bears as a quarterback, man, with the air attack. Cause when he threw the ball deep, it was pretty, bro.
Mhm.
Those passes to Bernard Berrian deep, yo, that was some moon shots, man.
You know what my biggest concern was about Rick Scorsese when they drafted him, and you being a Florida State fan and me being a Miami fan, was that he went to Florida.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was always from CJ Leak to Shane Matthews. They all
yeah,
played for the Bears too, didn't they? It was like we had an obsession with Florida quarterbacks.
yeah,
And I was
yeah.
like, I don't like Florida quarterbacks.
But
So,
now CJ League if we talking about the three, CJ Leak was more of a playmaker than a pure
yeah,
passer.
yeah.
Shane Matthews was a game manager, and you had to think those Matthews and Grossman was in that Steve Spurrier offense, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, he was in that Steve. Hey, them boy was slanging that ball all over the field, man. They could be up about 30 points in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. They still throwing post routes and all that, man. That was a thing.
And crazy as it may sound, Shane Matthews and Rex Grossman were some of the most memorable games. Shane
Hmm.
Matthews was the Mike Brown games. He was the quarterback.
Yeah,
He's the one that do the Hail Mary to the running back at the end of the game to help send it into overtime. So
yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's been fun being with the Bears. It's also been a struggle.
Hey,
But,
man, it's been a beautiful struggle being a Bears fan, man. But I'm
yeah,
here for it, and I'm looking toward the future, man. I'm looking forward to the future. So with
yeah.
that being said, bro, you got any shout outs before we get up out of here?
I'm gonna shout out each and every one. Unfortunately, I can't see who's in the chat, but everybody who supports this, tracks for inviting me each and every week. Definitely you, one of the goats already.
Oh man,
Um,
appreciate it, bro.
yeah, just each and every all the Bears fans. Just sometimes let's keep it realistic. I have a friend, I have a friend each week who posts, "We going to the Super Bowl," and if we do it, hey, more power to it. But that's kind of calm down and enjoy each and every week. That's what I'm
Enjoy
gonna do.
every week, bro. That's
Yeah,
all we can do. You know,
exactly.
because we've already I don't know how many would like to admit it, but we all like the Bears have already surpassed expectations, bro.
Hmm.
With us being in first place, being at where we at in this division, man. Like nobody thought we were gonna do this, man. If you say you did, you lying, like
Yeah.
straight up. But nevertheless, man, I respect all the fandom,
Yeah.
regardless of how.
Okay. I got one more shout out
Go ahead.
to our evil alliance or whatever you want to call it with the Philadelphia Eagles with the fans on social media. We took care
Hmm.
of we took care of the NFC East. They took care of the NFC North. And
Yeah,
we know it ends on Black Friday, but shout out to all my Eagle fans who supported the Bears, and
yeah.
all those Eagle fans that wish out let's go Bears in, in Lambeau Field. Y'all nuts.
Hey, man, look here, man. Now on that Eagle front, me and a couple of my good partners, we exchanged DMs because they Eagles fans. Now I thank them, and
Mm-hmm.
we had some respectable conversations. I mean, conversations that were a lot different in week 1 of this
Mm-hmm.
season. We had a lot of banter back and forth going on, but it was respectable every time they beat a division opponent of ours. I sent a thank you, appreciate it to the DM. Let them know that I appreciate it. But I ain't forming no alliance, bro. I couldn't form an alliance because they own the schedule, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like I told them, I said, y'all heard about this Philly Chicago alliance thing. We not doing that. But I appreciate you guys handling business. We gonna do our part on this side, and we will see y'all on Black Friday. I just kept it like that. And then
Yeah.
I got the thumbs up, and that's all I can ask for, bro.
Got you.
I ain't getting in it with them guys like that.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Like all of my friends who are Eagle fans that live in Atlanta have always been cool. It's been the Cowboy fans.
Ah,
Whew.
yeah, well,
I think that's
they
Philly,
can't help. They
Yeah.
can't help themselves.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, JC. Appreciate it. They can't help themselves, man. The Cowboy fans can't help themselves. If you talk to one, they'll make you feel like they won all them Super Bowls in the last 6 years, bro.
I was like, dude, you haven't won a Super Bowl since starter coach was hot. Like, be quiet.
Yeah, yeah, like they ain't won the Super Bowl. Last time they won the Super Bowl, it was NFL players with personalized Nikes, bro.
Exactly. And Jordan's wearing retros.
Yeah, yeah. So,
So,
Cowboy fans gonna be Cowboy fans. But as far as that alliance, I'm nothing. I'm nothing on that, brother. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't pull myself to do it. And when I seen it on X, I'm like, man, it crossed my mind, and then I said, ain't no way. These folks on the schedule.
yeah.
Ain't no way. Best thing I could do is chunk up the deuce to them guys and thank them for handling business. And that's all they did to me.
Yeah.
So when I said see you Black Friday, they put the thumbs up. That's the last message that's been passed, bro.
National TV.
Huh?
No, so that's a national televised game. Everybody in the world going to see it.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not out shopping.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the last message that I sent. I'm gonna be in the belly of the beast this Sunday, man. I'm going to a Pittsburgh Steelers bar in Atlanta here, man. So I was in the Giants bar a couple weeks ago. I'm going to a Pittsburgh bar, and I'm gonna be geared up, ready to cheer the Bears on, bro, in the belly of the beast.
Now you know what? Because I know somebody that was at the Giants thing, and I actually know
Mhm.
the guy who does those parties. And side note, the person was not with the other person, but real quick, but the Giant fans surprisingly are not bad. Like they want to party with you, and
Mhm.
I don't know if that was a vibe you got when you were there, but they were cool when I went to one of them a couple of years ago, several years ago actually.
Well, I'm gonna share my experience.
Uh
Now,
oh.
mind you, my cousin is a Giants fan to his core, so I was with him.
Mm.
But when I came in Bears wardrobe, bro, I was getting evil eyes. From when I hit the door and like people was looking me up and down, walking past me, like I had
Mm.
egg on my face, man. But as the game went on, things settled in. They realized they wasn't gonna win it. Then they wanted to be friendly.
Well, maybe that's what it
Oh,
was because the last time I went, uh, you- the last time I went, the Bears did win. And then one more story with the Giants. I was with my boy. He's from New York. He's a diehard Giants fan. I'm gonna take it all the way
uh-huh.
back to 2006. So he invited me and several other people over to his crib to watch the game on the
Yeah.
big screen. So we watched the game. They kicked a field goal. Devin Hester returned it for a touchdown. Next,
Oh, that year.
the next thing you know, the TV gets calm. He says good night. He kicked us all out.
Dang.
So yeah, but I've had my runs in because there's a lot of New Yorkers in Atlanta.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
I definitely had my run ins with New York.
Yeah, for sure. It's a lot of them here, man. It's a lot of them here, but it's a lot. Listen, man, it's a lot of ATLians that Steeler fans, man. They born and raised in this city, man, and they true blue Steeler fans. So I can respect it. But
Yeah.
that Giants bar is that's where all the Steeler people gonna be. So I'll be back. So if if that's somebody's still in there, I'm gonna speak this time.
I
Yeah,
ain't
man.
bad
So
at you.
again, shout out to everybody for rocking with us tonight. This is Chicago Sports Podcast. Shout out to everybody in the chat. For the people new that's watching, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. You guys will love it. I'm more than sure of it. Again, shout out to everybody. Shout out to the Bears, and let's get the number 8 on Sunday. Sunday at 5 p.m. Let's all be happy because we got the 8th win. You
Looking
know,
forward to that picture.
you got anything before we get up out of here? You cool?
Just good, better, best, bear down.
Yes, indeed. Good, better, best, and bear down. Listen, man. Hey, reach out to people. Look out for one another, man. We only got one life, man. It gets scary out here sometime. It gets scary out here sometime. And, we've been put on this earth to watch out for one another. So let's do that. With that
Yes,
being
sir.
said, peace up, bear down.
Oh, yeah, bear down.